Just as I thought. Just as I thought.
Welcome everybody to Fashion Victuals Radio, right here on ripradionetwork.com. Happy Hump Wednesday. We are live in week whatever the fuck under quarantine right now. So
let's say the second month. You lost the days, you lost the weeks, you lost time frames, lost sentences.
All that.
Oh, okay.
Tends to be that way when you're on 2 months of COVID-19 and the numbers ain't going down.
Well, in this area, I would say. Well, here's the thing about that. I view it as this. I think we're so focused on the numbers that it's kind of draining to even focus on anything else.
Draining. Damn the numbers. This whole process is draining at this point. Completely draining. Oops, wait.
There we go.
Sorry. I was trying to do a watch party. Anywho, yes. This whole thing is completely draining at this time. Completely draining.
Which I understand, but at the same time, you know, there's look, we're I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. We're pro-reactive to everything, and this is the reason behind it. If we were proactive, I don't think we would have these type of problems right now.
Oh, I totally agree.
So,
but we have a fruit in office, and I mean an orange, not another fruit. I'm talking about the actual fruit.
I think he's more of a kumquat, but yeah, okay.
Dickhead, kumquat, asshole, stupid, ignorant. I mean, we got so many names for days for 45 that it doesn't make no sense. But yes, we are here. How has your week been going?
It's been okay. Keeping myself busy like normal. We're working on some helping out other shows here on Rip Radio Network, with their stuff. So I'm not going anywhere, so calm down.
You're helping out.
Well, I would say just helping out. I mean, mind you, I am a professional. So in this day and age, surprisingly, in this day and age, besides like restaurants trying to stay busy, I think people in my profession, like with videos and television and things like that, we stay busy. And we try to stay busy because our creative minds are always constantly moving. So. Right. And luckily enough, I mean, there's a lot of projects out there that need to be handled, and somehow people, it's like, well, we can't go in the office to get the stuff, so we got to take it home in a sense. But then again, when you have still have deadlines to deal with, and you got now 2 months worth of stuff that you got to edit or shoot or whatever, you got to do something about that. And I'm kind of surprised. I still see some like photographers shoot with models somewhere out and about, not here in the area, but I follow people on Instagram and they still do their things and still try to put content out there. So they can't. People like in the entertainment business. I mean, we try to stay busy in some form or fashion. Actually, I give credit to this one show next week, All Rise, with Simone Missick, and they're going to do like what we're doing now. They're doing a quarantine-based episode, which will be very, very interesting. And I'm very interested. I've watched the entire season. This will be its season finale, and I'm going to be very intrigued of how this episode is, because normally, you'll whenever something tragic happens in the entertainment world, they'll try to follow it. They'll try to follow up by doing something creative to compensate. And I think something like this will be very interesting to watch. So I guess I do recommend All Rise, and I hope it comes back for a second season.
What is All Rise? I've never even heard of it.
It's a courtroom drama show, but it's a little different. It's not like some of the other courtroom dramas that you've seen. Simone Missick, she was a lawyer who now is a judge, and this is like her first year as a judge, and she's going through the ups and downs of that. She's still friends with one lawyer, and she befriends another one, or more like a mentor and things like that. But the whole process is, dealing with the ups and downs of the LA judicial system and things like that. But it's a little different. To me, it's not like a Law and Order or LA Law. If you go back in the days, yes, shows the gray hair, how old that show is. But all in all, it's a very unique, different perspective, and having a Black female judge leading. If you know Simone Missick, she played Misty Knight on during the Defenders and Luke Cage shows. So once I saw her on there, I was like, who is this fine sister? Then I found out she's married, but it was all cool. But and surprised that her husband will be in this episode next week. And also and her husband is also on the For Life show that's produced by 50 Cent. So they're staying busy, during this whole quarantine thing. So
that's good.
Yeah, so it's but the funny thing is, like, she plays the judge and her husband plays a convict, and it's in two different shows. It's kind of like, support as much as you can.
For Black actors.
Yeah, for Black actors. So it's like, okay, you see them on different perspective. Because I just recently rewatched the Hollywood Shuffle, and remember that little bit where they were portraying it like they were trying to leave the plantation. And Robert Townsend says, I don't want to leave the plantation, all that stuff. And then he say, hi, I'm Roger Taylor, and this is the Black Hollywood School. And you can be, convict and a slave and all that stuff.
That is very old.
Yes. Oh man, I still laugh at that, because some of the things on there, the lines, the gimmicks they put on there, or the bits, I mean, it's still funny. It's still relevant. That's the funny. And also, I rewatched Boomerang a couple days ago. Same deal. It's kind of like one scene where Martin, Eddie, and David Alan Grier were going into a store, and they were looking at some clothing and all that stuff, and some one of the
I remember that scene
here, and Martin says it's racial, man. And it's like, yeah, it's still relevant. So yeah, I mean, that's the cool thing about being in quarantine. You're like watching old shows or new shows and movies, and surprise. Oh, and here's the surprising thing: I've been seeing a lot of movies that are so relevant to what's going on today, but it has a different twist to it. And there was like one in particular called The Last Days, and it's a Spanish movie. And I kid you not, and it's like, you can't go outside because the whole premise, it was like people were somehow, the sun was affecting people, and so pretty much people had to stay inside. And it got to the point where it became years later, and nothing got resolved. It was like the main premise was like this guy, these two guys. One was this guy and his boss. They were trying to find the lead guy's girlfriend, and then they, as their journey progressed, they tried. The boss needed to find his dad's place, to meet up with his dad and try to reconcile with him and all that stuff. So towards the end, you'll try to find out if they end up getting to meet these people they're trying to find. But the whole thing is like they weren't there to resolve what was going on out in the outside world. Everyone's like, it was like chaos out there. So it was like, okay, then we'll resolve here. So, no one knows why the sun was affecting people. No, it was just more like these two guys trying to find the people they're trying to find. It was like, okay, that's fine. But I like to know if they were able to solve the issue at hand.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But hey, they weren't doctors, so they were media people. That's why. So they weren't essential. That's this interpretation. But like I said, this is a good opportunity for people to see things and all that stuff and catch up on things and also catch up on news, because there's a lot of Fast and Fictional news that we got.
Really a whole lot of stuff going on right now. Outside of coronavirus and outside of being quarantined, I'm sure there is a whole lot to talk about.
A little bit, but I'll give you a little hint. Of course, the airlines, they got to keep raising fees for some dumb reason, and also there's a little change. Also, one of the big four is going to be doing something for the first time. So, big four fashion shows. So they're going to be changing up a little bit. But yeah, that's what's going to happen on Fast Fictional News. So after a little break.
Well, we can go ahead and take a break now. And then when we come back, we can jump right into Fashion Victual News right here on RadioNetwork.com. Fashion Victuals Radio. Welcome back, everybody, to Fashion Victuals Radio right here on RipRadioNetwork.com. Let's go ahead and jump right into Fashion Victuals News. Fashion Victual News.
See, that's what happens when you talk with your mouth full. Anyway. All right. As many airlines continue to try and stay afloat during the pandemic, you're going to love this. American Airlines continues to stiff those even more by last Tuesday, increasing their transatlantic flights baggage check-in fees to $75, which was previously $60 both ways. So you have to pay $75 each way to check in your bags if you're going on international flights. And the timing is even more surprising. But the American CEO, Doug Parker, stated in an interview 2 weeks ago that revenues were down 90%, but it was reported that American made $1 billion over baggage fees in 3 quarters in 2019. So again, the question is, all right, you're saying you're losing money, but at the same time, you made over $1 billion in three out of the 4 months. So I don't get you. That's like, I know you need to make money, but come on now.
So my thing is, who are they going to make the money from, being that there's nobody really flying right now?
That's true.
I'm looking at the stocks every day. Nobody's making a move. In fact, they're the worst. I couldn't tell you the last time I flew on American, I'm gonna be honest. But still. And
I'm so curious about their new outfits, because remember that story we mentioned about them. So we'll see if anyone's itching and scratching about their new gear. But anyway, now let's get into some fashion. So this is, again, still based off Corona, but this may be a good thing. So the British Fashion Council has made the decision for their upcoming June London Fashion Week to be online. Just like the Armani Fashion Show in Milan, the London Fashion Show will have podcasts, webinars, and digital showrooms. The event will fully open to the industry insiders and to the public at large. The BFC CEO, Caroline Rush, stated this: we hope we will be about sustainability, creativity, and product that you value, respect, and cherish. By creating Cultural Fashion Week platform, we are adapting digital innovation to best fit our needs today, and something to build on as a global showcase for the future. Ha, 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 ha. Now, here's something interesting that in addition to the new format, the BFC will make the London Fashion Week gender neutral, which normally June features menswear, but they will be allowing women wear designers to participate in the event. So since this is mainly set up for June, they're kind of unsure about the September show. Has yet to be determined if it will be online or not. So it's kind of interesting to see where they'll be going with from here on out. So being one of the big four doing digital online, we'll see how that may progress down the line, leading into September if this continues.
I could see that happening. I could really see them doing more digital fashion shows at this point. Just so that people can keep doing the social distancing thing to a degree. Prayerfully, we won't be in this long. But it's still going to be a recovery phase, right? Like, people still are going to be kind of skeptical and scared to go to certain places or be around a large group of people. So I can really see them taking on the advantage of using the digital platform in order to host fashion shows in September.
Well, in addition to that, I feel like if like they're going to slowly progress back, I would just allow only the insiders and pretty much the fashion reporters and fashion buyers, and that's it. I mean, get away the front.
Large crowd of people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
20 to 30 different models. Plus whoever you hire to assist with dressing the models, makeup artists, hairstylists, and then having press there, that's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, they'll find a way probably reduce some of the numbers, but then again, try to still have the prestige of what Fashion Week is. So, but we'll see how this goes down the line. So, not like many people, somehow people are still traveling and some people want to stay in somewhere, but Airbnb, they're on top of this as well. The executives have implemented this past Monday to enforce rental owners to clean and sanitize their homes 24 hours before and after each rental. The new guidelines, which is pretty much 40 pages long, which will feature cleaning products to use. The new guidelines was sparked by not only the current situation, but to the numerous survey response that cleanliness was the top priority for guests. Now, not only Airbnb, but the hotel industry is taking heed as well, where Marriott stated that they too will be sanitizing their rooms after each guest stay. So this is a big step forward.
Concerned though, like, were they not doing that before?
Again, you're going into someone else's home, so you're pretty much
home and hotels. They should be doing that.
Well, hotels is another. The hotels had a certain standard of cleanliness to provide, and except for, let's say, hotels and motels. There are two different motels. Everyone been to a motel? Motel 6. Come on now. But when it comes to something like a big chain hotels like Marriott, like the Hyatt, or places like that, of course, there is a set standard to cleanliness because that's major business. When you have one bad room, shoot, you've just pretty much fucked up everybody, right. Internationally. Now, as for Airbnb, you fucked up a home. If mind you, we've done stories about how Airbnb, the guests and the hosts don't like each other and things of that nature. But something like this, where it's like it wasn't clean, so it's just like, okay, was it clean before you went in or after? That's the real question mark. And if it was before, then I understand.
How would you know? How would you know that they were like, before you go to an Airbnb, how would you know that they cleaned and sanitized the place 24 hours before your arrival? How would they know?
I don't know, unless you smelled some Clorox everywhere. I don't know.
See,
I really don't know.
It's like that even though they're putting out these guidelines to the owners of the Airbnbs, who's to say that they're like, well, I'll do it right when this person leaves, I'll do it. But then 3 days later, you have a guest coming in, but you're thinking like, okay, well, I already sanitized and cleaned up 3 days ago, so I don't need to do it again. But according to the rules, it says 24 hours.
Well, at least minimally 24 hours. But it's still, I don't know. It depends on the person.
It's just a little fearful of things like that.
I know. Well, this last story, you're going to get a little kick out of this. And pretty much, as we all know, many industries have tried find new ways for their business to prosper. Now, one strip club in particular in Portland, Oregon, the Lucky Devil Lounge, has taken it to another level. Wow. They provided food delivery service to their customers with their dancers. With their dancers making the deliveries. The deliveries were known at the time Boober Eats. That's right, Boober Eats, and it was it got some good attention, some very good attention. But they had to stop it because of the fact the Uber didn't like it because the driving company put a cease and desist order on the lounge. So there was still a little bit of luck left for the lounge, and they made a makeshift drive-through in front of their parking lot with a tent and their dancers performing on each side. And again, 6 feet apart they were. In addition, they were able to deliver the food to the cars once they were ready. Now, this go-go drive-through was only available on Fridays and Saturdays from 6 to 10 Oregon time. You'll have to pay a minimum of $40 to access. That's $30 per car and $10 per occupant. So if you have 2 people in there, you'll probably have to pay $50 and things like that. And you must order food. That's the key thing. You must order food. And if you are among the first 50 to 60 patrons during that weekend, you may get free toilet paper in the process. So, like I said, they are trying new ways to keep themselves afloat, especially the strip club of the capital of the world in Portland. And I see your face right now.
I can't even knock them for at least trying to make $1. Like, because I don't hear any other strip clubs trying to make an effort to make money or try to make sure that the dancers are getting paid. So most of the dancers at these strip clubs got a OnlyFans page now. Yeah. So
I mean, they're trying.
Them kudos for at least trying to make sure that the girls don't have to go to OnlyFans and set up an account, and they can still make money at their place of business. I'm not mad at it. I mean, it's crazy, but I'm not mad at it.
Yeah. So, but that's Fashion Victual News. But before we go, I'd like to bring in our guest before we take a break. This is Miss Pamela Hawk. Pamela, you hear us?
Hey, hello.
So we're going to take a quick break, and then we're coming right back to you. And we talk about Serenity Door and domestic violence under quarantine. So all that and more.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to Victuals Radio, RadioNetwork.com. We have the lovely Pamela here today. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay. So, what we're going to talk about today, we normally don't talk about a lot of serious subjects, but this is one that I think would be great, especially during this time while everybody is under quarantine. It's the fact that a lot of people, men and women, go through domestic violence. And we have Pamela here to talk to us about that subject, especially under quarantine. Hello.
So, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, during this quarantine, it's been really challenging for like the different domestic violence shelters, because what I've been seeing, a lot of them have either stopped intake at this time, or they're on limited resources because funding, even for my organization, funding is really thin. So it's really challenging for like the domestic violence organizations and just the community based local organizations. So just some of the things that I've been doing as far as try my best to assist people that may be experiencing um, an abusive situation, or that may know of someone that may be in a situation that may be deemed abusive. So what we're doing is we're asking or just referring them to family members, trusted family members and friends. Because like I said, a lot of the local shelters that I've been in contact with, they're not taking any new intake. So it's really hard. It's really hard. So yeah, you really have to, you know, lean on, trusted family members and friends and so on and so forth. But for me, a good practice, and I've been telling everyone that I know of, is just practicing like finding a peaceful place, whether it's within your home, it could be at a neighbor's home, where you can just have like just exercise your peace of mind, because that's a big piece of it, that mental health piece of
Absolutely.
domestic. So especially with the children, you have the children at home. So, it's really challenging for people that may be experiencing um, an abuser that's in the home, and you're there, all the time. So yeah, it's really challenging for everyone right now. And then even with the family members, people are so skeptical about bringing, people into their home. So
Mhm.
it's really hard. It's really hard. So yeah.
So, what are some of the things as far as recognizable signs, especially for women? I mean, and men too, that people come to you with? Because I know they don't flat out say, "I'm in a abusive relationship." It probably takes a little warming up to get some information about them.
Right. And I'm also a survivor, so I can always like
Oh
say,
wow!
times, because I was one of those people. I didn't want people to know my business, but I wanted help. So a lot of times someone will come to you and they'll say, okay, well, I know a friend that may be experiencing um, abuse in their home. And it could be physical, it could be sexual. They'll open up to you in that manner. So that it's important to learn to, as a family member or a friend, to learn to take those, recognize those cues when someone is coming to you with, an issue that they may be experiencing within a home. Well, you can just kind of tell when something is off with the
Yeah,
person. Yeah. So whether it's, uh, depression or anxiety, and that's it's really big. It's really high right now
yeah,
because people are you're on edge. I know for me personally, like the first 2 weeks, this whole situation started with the quarantine. My anxiety level was really high. So just understanding that fear, anxiety, depression, and stress, it also weakens your immune system. So
mm,
it can affect you, on multiple fronts.
right.
So yeah, it's really important to exercise self care if you're experiencing, some level of abuse in the home. You gotta, take the time out to, if you gotta log off of social media, the news, those things are important. So, pray. That's the thing. Meditate. Just finding different outlets and talking with a trusted friend or family member is important. So, like I said, even if you gotta sleep in your car at some point, it's still better than being in a situation locked down with an abuser. So,
how many calls do you think since during the quarantine have you received of women who are in these situations at this time?
how many calls that we've received? On average, we're not set up as a call center,
Okay.
so it's mainly referrals. So I would say maybe 10 to 20 a week. So we basically refer them to the 1-800-799-7233, and
Okay.
that's the national. Yes, exactly. Thank you. That's the national hotline. And if you don't have a safe area in your home where you can safely talk to someone, there's also their web address, and that's thehotline.org. And that they're available 24/7. And like I said, I always refer people to that hotline because they have local resources for
Right.
each state and each county. So that's a really great resource. Yeah.
So how many times, like, I'm not gonna know, I guess the average for you is 10 to 20 a week. So have you been receiving the same amount during the quarantine as well?
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Have you been receiving the same amount of people coming to you during the quarantine as well?
Absolutely. Like I said, we're working on a shoestring budget, so
Yeah.
it's really hard right now. We're not receiving any funding, so it's really challenging for our organization. It's being overwhelmed with just requests. Like we don't even have. Normally we have diapers, clothing. We don't have any like any
Wow.
kind of donations. We're not receiving anything. So like I said, it's really hard. It's really hard. Yeah.
So do you all specialize in domestic abuse or mental abuse and like verbal abuse, things like that?
I'm sorry. Do we do what?
Do you all handle like verbal abuse as well, like with domestic
Absolutely.
and
It all
okay?
embodies. So and sexual also. So and that's another piece that we deal with. Like you said, since the children are at home, a lot of them that were being abused and their safe haven was school and outside activities. Now they're stuck in the house with the abuser, whether it was physical and or sexual. So that's really hard. Dealing with that and knowing that they're going through the situation, and we're going to run right into summer, big summertime. So yeah, they're going to still be out of school.
Yeah.
So it's really hard.
Wow.
My question would be even though we're currently locked up, but I recently saw a video of a woman who was able to sneak in a note to a vet, at a vet office.
Oh, I saw that one.
Yes. When you have something like in this situation where everything's locked in, you're not going out, what can you tell the victim who's probably listening to this right now, ways to get out, it is, able to sort of, I wouldn't say sucker, or more like deceive their abuser of getting out for a bit, like going to the store and things like that?
Like I said, a trusted family member and or friend. The key is trusted. Not all family members are trusted. Like I said, when I was going through mine, I had family members that were, that would have given me up as far as, well, she's over such and such. So just make sure you have form an alliance with a trusted family member, friend, someone that you can call. You can call me, 301-996-8817 discreetly. I won't pick you up, but I'll make provisions to get you to where you need to be. Facebook, social media, inbox someone, say something. And I also say to family members that know of other family members that you may have in the past known of a situation with an abuser, check on them. See something, say something. Check on your family members. You can drive by their house, and I know we're doing the social distancing, but you can still drive by and just lay your eyes on, your family member that may have experienced abuse in the past, because tensions are really high, in a lot of households. So I'm constantly checking on my family members, not just the elderly ones, the ones that had questionable, unhealthy relationships.
Wow.
So just really check on your family members, your friends that you may suspect be experiencing abuse in their home. So,
what do you do about family members who you know, or even friends that you know are going through abusive relationships and they won't let you step in and help?
Keep an eye on them. Honestly, if they don't actively seek help, it can be more of a detriment for you to attempt to intervene.
Yeah.
Because that's still an intimate partner for them. And like I said, I've been in a situation where you try to help someone and then they both come against you, and it's like, I'm just trying to help.
Right.
But just keep an eye. Just keep them close. Keep an eye on them, because if a person isn't ready to leave,
they're not going to.
There's nothing you can't physically drag them out. Even though removing themselves from the situation, is going to be in their best interest. You can't physically, remove an adult. And even giving advice, you have to really be mindful that, a lot of times people know that they're in toxic or unhealthy relationships, and they just, because you have to keep in mind there's still an emotional tie with that other person.
Yeah.
And a lot of people always say, why don't they just leave, or why don't they just leave that person? It's still an emotional, not to excuse it, but it's still an emotional tie to that abuser. So a lot of times it's hard, when a friend or family member is being abused, and there's nothing that you can do when they don't see that they need help, or they need, to remove themselves, because a lot of women, a lot of men don't make it to the point where they're able to escape and tell the story.
Yeah.
And that's the part of it, So
now, you mentioned earlier you were a victim of the domestic violence. So what was your exit? When was it for you, like, to say, you know what, I'm done?
Okay, so and then for me also, I'm a mother of 4, so I had
when
I left. Yes, when I left, I had like 2 years apart from age 2, on up. So it was extra hard for me to get to the point where, mentally, because when you're in an abusive situation, the abuser, they strip you of your dignity, your self-esteem. That's outside of the physical aspect. They strip you of, pretty much everything. You're useless. Nobody wants you.
Yeah.
So on and so forth. So for me, the last straw was when my abuser had shown signs of abuse towards one of our children. That was the oldest. So as a mom, that was the last straw for me. the safety of my children. And it's ironic, and as awkward as it may sound, I'm like, okay, as long as I can endure the abuse, as long as my kids are safe. But I've always tell people it's better to come from a broken home than to live in one. So, for me, I was like, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave where I want to go. But it's always better to come from a broken home than to actually live in one with your children. So that was, important for me, that my kids had a healthy environment to grow up in. Because a lot of times as a victim, you're not thinking about yourself. You're like, I'm good, I can take this. Yeah. But it's unhealthy is unhealthy. I don't care how you look at it. Even if it's not.
I was going to say, especially when it's done for the kids.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of abuse that takes place that's non-physical. It could be, emotional, mental. Being called a B every day, that's unhealthy. So it doesn't necessarily have to be, a physical altercation or a physical fight. It could be emotional or mental. This array of levels of abuse. So a lot of times it starts off mental and physical, and not mental and verbal, and then it escalates. So just a lot of times it doesn't start off as physical abuse. It gradually pivots into ultimate physical abuse. So.
And it starts with the verbal. Comments.
Yes. And as a victim, you're thinking, especially with an intimate partner, you're like, oh, okay, things will get better, or I'm gonna treat this person the way I would like to be treated, and we all know that
never works.
Exactly, it doesn't work.
To a degree, I've been in one before too, and I had to seek a way out because I felt like he was just killing my self-esteem. He was telling me everything about my physical appearance wasn't right, as far as my weight wasn't right. I mean, he was just saying everything literally put me down and make me feel like I was worthless. And I just couldn't do it. And I'm like, this is not what love is. This is not what nobody should feel,
Did it ever get to the physical part of it?
Once it did. But it was my last straw. That was when it got physical, it was my last straw. And it took that one good time for me to say, I cannot do this.
Yeah, I can't do this. So for me, I think an abuser's biggest tool is the manipulation piece, because they have to strip you of your self-esteem, your will to, like, okay, I'm fearless. I can move on, and I can do this. And so they have to strip you of your self-esteem. And once they do that, it leaves you open and vulnerable to say, okay, well, maybe I was wrong when he hit me the other day, or maybe I deserved it. It as crazy as it sounds, that's a lot of the psyche that we see with abusers and their victims. So it's really tough. And if you've never been in a abusive situation, you can't fathom the psyche of a victim. Well, why don't you just leave? I cringe when I hear that. When people say, why don't you just, like, you can just pick up, and just go. A lot of times it's not, it's financial.
Not easy.
Exactly. It's financial, or you may have children together, or
but sometimes you may feel like, that person is the only one who wants you, and because they put you down so many times that you would feel nobody wants you.
Yeah, and they'll tell you over and over, nobody wants you. And then they'll give you an itemized list of why nobody wants you, and then it'll wait. It's just like with a child. if you constantly tell a child, negative thoughts about themselves, they're going to begin to believe that about themselves. So, it's the same with victims of abuse. And as you said, it could be a female to a male as far as abuse, victims. So it's not just male to female. It could be female to male or female, male, male. It doesn't discriminate. It does not discriminate.
I mean, both ways too. I've been in one, and then I've seen a woman be abusive to a man. And it's like, how do you talk to him like that?
You've been an abuser?
Huh?
You said you've been an abuser?
No, I haven't. I had a friend at the time who was one, and I would question her, like, why would you talk to him that way? That he's a man. Like, why can't you just talk to him like you're an adult instead of like putting him down or calling him names or calling him out his name and telling him he ain't, what, It's that. I'm like, I don't understand. I never understood the mindset of a woman when they do that.
But I will say this. So, being a survivor of domestic abuse, it is so imperative, and I'm an advocate for therapy. You have to get in some level of therapy.
Absolutely.
Because you may think that you're fine. You may think that I'm a survivor and I'm out of that situation. You got to get into therapy, because this is what happens for me personally, and I've seen it with other people. You at first you're a victim, and then you become a perpetrator inadvertently. So this is what was put on you. So when you get into the next relationship, you don't know how to function in a healthy relationship. So it's like something that remotely, it could be anything that triggers you. So like I said, for me, it was like, oh, well, if I'm thinking that someone is cheating, and my mouth would just go viral. That's abuse. So
it's trigger point.
I became an abuser.
Wow.
That was a hard pill for me to swallow and to recognize at that point, because I was so busy. Like, okay, I'm the victim, I'm the survivor, and I'm good. But until I got into counseling, even though I had an organization and I wanted to help all of these women and help these people, in my own personal relationships, I was abusing. Like, okay, well, this is how it's gonna go, and I would just go at it. As far as not physically, because I was, physically I couldn't fight a man, but my words would cut like knives, and that was so unhealthy. And I had to get to a point where it's like, look, I can't. The common denominator, this relationship, and that's another one of my platforms, healthy relationships. Because you think you remove yourself from an abusive situation, you're good. No, you're not.
Yeah.
You have to seek some level of. It's just like with any abuse, whether it's child sexual abuse, you got to get counseling. You have to get counseling. So I'm an advocate for getting to some level of professional, paraprofessional therapy.
I'm what you said earlier. You said like words for the abuser. There, it's a tool. In this situation we're in right now, is this sort of like? I'm gonna go nerd out on this. Is this like a supervillain's power? Have everything quarantined in? Everything is like.
This is like the COVID situation. The abuser may be using that as a scare tactic. In certain situations of abuse, that may be a scare tactic that they're using during this whole pandemic and quarantine. Abusers can be so cunning and manipulative. It's crazy. You can't fathom. Like I said, if you've never witnessed someone or an unhealthy relationship with someone actually being abused, you can't fathom. But it's seeing it play out, how certainly the little things that they use, it could be the children, like I said, with this whole pandemic. Oh, well, it could be anything that they utilize to create fear, within a person, their victim. So yeah, definitely, I'm sure that they are using, a lot of abusers are using just the whole quarantine, knowing that there aren't a lot of available resources for their, for these victims. And I cringe because I just know a lot of people are experiencing this tremendous level of abuse, and there's really limited resources. So really finding that family member, that trusted family member, is someone that you can, even if it's just someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Sometimes just having that outlet means the entire world. Just having that outlet, for someone to just be your sounding board, or for me, like I said, I got into meditating, finding a healthy hobby, breathing. People think, oh, we breathe every day. No, there's a particular way, like when you're a breathing exercise that you can do that actually relieves stress. So yeah, just especially for women, deep inhale, exhale, that could, it can be paramount to your stress level. So yeah. Yep.
So why don't you tell them where they can find you and how they can get in touch with you?
Okay, so I'm Pamela Hawk. My website is serenitiesdoor.org. On all social medias, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Serenity's Door. My website is serenitiesdoor.org. My telephone number is 301-996-8817. Please call me if you're experiencing any level of abuse, or you just want to talk. Reach out to me. I'm here to help. So thank you, Pamela.
Thank you for the information. And anybody who is going through domestic violence right now, or any type of domestic abuse, whether it's mental, physical, or emotional abuse, verbal abuse, please give her a call, and also call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. Everybody's lines are open. Everybody's doors are open to you. So if you're going through this, or you know someone going through this, encourage them to make the call too.
And please, like I said, please keep in mind you are not alone in this. If you see something, say something. If you're a family member, please speak up. Please speak up.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Pamela.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to get into the editorial shade right here on Fashion Victuals Radio.
My bitch everywhere, we be getting money everywhere, yeah. They don't even know, they be throwing shade everywhere.
Welcome back, everybody, to Fashion Victuals Radio, right here on RipRadioNetwork.com. So I do have a good editorial shade today.
Oh, okay.
So my boo thing sent me something yesterday, and I'm gonna read the story, and then you give me your opinion, because I already know this is about to be a battle.
Okay.
So it's in this group called Mature Conversations About Relationships on Facebook. Facebook actually has a lot of good groups on there that people can join. I actually had joined a few and left a few. But this was under Mature.
If you left a few, okay.
I did leave a few because it was just like, I can't do this. So the story is my boyfriend of 4 months noticed that I needed new tires on my car and brought it to my attention. I acknowledged it and stated that I would get some soon. About 3 weeks later, he says, I have some tires in my garage that should fit your car. Come by and get them. I said, okay, and then noticed that he had...
Speaking of tires, you hear a car zooming by.
I know. Okay, so it says, I said, okay, and then noticed that he had brand new tires on his car. I asked if they were new. He said yes. I then asked if the tires that he had in his garage were his old tires, and he said yes. So I said, you brought new tires and want to give me your used tires. He said they're better than the ones you currently have. I politely declined his used tires and have since purchased my own tires brand new. This has completely turned me off, and I want to break up. Am I wrong?
Wait, you're breaking up over tires.
It's not see, you're missing the whole principle behind it.
Okay.
It's the fact that you knew that your woman needed tires.
Right.
Now, the first instinct would be, oh, babe, you need tires. Let me make sure you get tires. His thing was, oh, babe, you need new tires.
Mm-hmm.
That's all he said. She acknowledged what he said and said, yes, I do. I'll get some in a timely manner. 3 weeks later, he got new tires
for himself.
For himself, not for her. For himself. He didn't need new tires. See what I'm saying?
Okay. I'm going to say this.
Choose your words wisely, Brian.
Oh, okay. Because here's the thing. I recently saw the Melissa Ford's podcast show. I watch it. I don't listen to it. I'm here for the food, and she had a couple of her friends on, notable friends, and one of them was Tahiri from Love and Hip Hop, and she says she's not down with the 50-50 thing. And
Tahiri said.
Yeah, Tahiri said that. And because based off of another comment that she made, basing off the comment she made on another post or something like that. But anyway, the whole point of that comment and the show itself was, or the question at hand, it was the fact that, look, if you're so bad by yourself and you can do things for yourself, why ask somebody to help do it for you? Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. I'm not done. Now, if you are not able to, what is preventing you from driving down to a tire store and get it done, or a garage by yourself? Unless you're completely oblivious of what a car is, then I don't understand for you to not to drive down there yourself and get your own damn tires. I don't get that. Now, I mean, mind you, if it's the simple fact of trying a good deal and you're not a good deal maker, fine. Okay, yeah, let you talk to your significant other. Say, hey, can you help me get some new tires and all that stuff? I want to try to get a good deal out of them. Blah blah blah. Fine, I understand that. Or if you feel your significant other understands your car and wants to get you the right tire, yeah, I get that. But then again, if you are unable to completely not do this on your own, then why ask? I feel like she felt like a helpless person who is like, I've driven this car to the ends of the earth. Now I need new tires. And it's like, well, you passed like 7 garages along the way until you got home. You could have dropped off it there and got your own tires. That I don't understand. But then again, like I said, I'm choosing my words rightfully. I feel this like it could be either you could have done it yourself, or you feel like my man knows more about cars than I do. All right, fine. So it's one or the other for you. But then again, but to break off a relationship, you're basing it off of like, well, since my man didn't help me getting these new tires and he bought tires for himself, then I need to leave. That makes no damn sense.
It sets the tone for the future. But let me correct you, because nowhere in this story did she ask him to buy her tires. Let's be clear. She said, I'll take care of it when I get a chance. That's what she said. She said 3 weeks later, he said he had tires in his garage. 3 weeks later. Okay.
And they were used tires.
She hasn't taken care of her tires yet. She never asked his ass for any help on her damn tires. She said, I know. I'm going to get some soon. That's what she said.
Okay, here's the other. I think here's something left out. Now, are they okay? Like, is it? Did he? When he got the car, when he got the new tires for the car, was it for the car that they both use?
No,
or it's just for his ride.
They don't even live together. It clearly stated
okay.
You see what I'm saying? It clearly stated that he had tires in his garage that would fit her car. When she got to his house, mind you, they don't live together. When she got to his house, she noticed he got new tires on his car. And she asked him, do you have new tires on your car? He says, yes. And then she further asked him, well, the tires were you going to give me were the tires that were on your car before? He said, yes.
Okay.
She declined, got herself new tires, which she was going to do anyway.
Okay.
And now he's like, should I break up with him? Absolutely, because because he has set the tone on how this whole relationship is going to go. Let's be clear, which means I'm going to come second to everything.
Okay.
If I'm your woman, I'm supposed to be a priority.
Okay. Here, again, I'm going to say this. Okay. Now that everything's fully clear, because my assumption was I thought they were living together.
Nope, they ain't living together. And
now that's open up again. Now that's open up. Still, I feel like the question is like, why didn't you do this yourself if you knew you needed new tires on your own right from the jump?
Well, she could be busy. Let's be clear. Men get busy. Women. It don't matter.
You could just drop it off, go to work, and they can pick you up.
Brian, she didn't ask him to help her. That's what you're missing. She never asked for his help.
So did he notice it?
It says that my boyfriend of 4 months noticed that I needed new tires on my car and brought it to my
so he noticed it. Okay, so he noticed it. Okay. Here's how I'm gonna save this. I feel like one, she should have said, if you felt like you were gonna do it anyway, you just says, and he said, hey, I'll handle it. It's like, no, just she could have politely said, no, I got it, I'm good. I know somebody. She did.
I acknowledged it and stated that I would get some soon. She acknowledged the fact that he brought it to her attention and said, I will be getting some tires soon. That's what she said.
Okay. She said all that. All right.
Yeah. Try to pickpocket this one out.
I'm trying to help the brother. At the same time, I think he's digging more as more things keep being brought back to me, the initial story. How do you interpret this? I wouldn't break up over it. I wouldn't. I think it. I feel like
you. So let me ask you this: what would be the purpose of him putting new tires on his car if he didn't need tires?
I don't know. That would be the question for him to ask.
So how selfish does it sound when you go and buy brand new tires? Let's be clear, because you didn't spend the money on her, but you spent it on yourself, and then was like, "Oh, here."
But then again, it's like, look, here's how I think he probably would thought about this. Either let me spend it may sound crazy. If he spent the money on himself instead of spending twice on himself and her on new tires, it would be, for his logical reasoning would be, let me spend the money on me. Let me,
What is logical about that if that's supposed to be your woman?
Mind you, you're spending money. It's best to spend it on it once than twice. That's why I feel like where he's trying to go with it.
I don't understand. I don't
think about He's trying. He want if he think. I don't know where he got the idea. He need new tires. He probably need new tires. Who knows? We don't know what he's thinking.
You want to know why he didn't? Because it states right here that he said that I said you bought. She said so. I said you bought new tires and want to give me your used ones. He said, end quote, they're better than the ones you currently have, which means he didn't need new tires. And he had given her his old tires because they were in a better state than the ones she had, which means he did not need new tires because he could still drive probably a good 10, 20,000 miles with the ones he had before he got brand new ones.
Okay, so financial logic. I'm thinking financial. No. Hear me out. I'm thinking financial logic. If he's going to spend money on his girl, either A, he'll pay for her new tires, but then down the line, he's thinking, in fact, it's like, okay, if I'm paying for her new tires, I eventually will need new tires as well as down the line. So logical expense is like, look, the tires I got, they're still good. Why not save some money?
What money are you saving?
Huh?
What money are you saving? Because because
he'll be probably paying for it twice. I don't know when he's going to pay. Well, it does. Nowhere stated there like when he needed new tires anyway. I mean, now
if he need new tires, she did.
I understand that, but again, this is 4 months of a relationship. Okay, 4 months. So, and you want to break over some tires that you were getting, didn't get, and all that stuff.
Set the tone of how you're going to carry this relationship any further.
Have you? And if it's only one incident,
absolutely.
One incident. This is the deal breaker
already.
This is the deal breaker.
Listen. This tells me that you think about only yourself first, not your woman. You didn't need new tires. I needed the new tires. So I didn't even ask you to buy me new tires. That's the thing. You didn't even offer to buy me new tires. That's another thing. Let's be clear.
Help.
But then tell me that you got some hand-me-down tires in your garage because you went and bought yourself brand new tires. Now, what would be the purpose of you buying yourself brand new tires if you knew, mind you, he knew because he pointed it to her that she needed the new tires? What would be the purpose?
I think it's about saving money.
What money are you saving? That's what I'm trying to get to.
Again, if it's
because if you bought brand new tires for her, guess what? You still had the tires on your car. You didn't need new tires. You could still go on your car, right? What money are you saving?
At this incident, I feels like he's trying to save her money. But then again, it's like she ended up still paying for it beyond buying her new tires.
Wow.
I mean, mind you, I don't understand that guy's logic. But honestly, I personally would not break up over this. I feels like just
you
leave it as
I is.
Huh? What?
You're not the one doing the breakup. She is.
Listen, this is not, I would just put it in a mental Rolodex, and if it comes up against of the similar situation down the line, I would say then, that's strike two.
It tells me that you are adult enough to handle certain situations and responsibilities because both of y'all must have your own place.
Right.
Secondly, as a woman who is adult enough to handle certain situations, you ain't got to deal with the bullshit either. You don't.
Okay, this is where I feel like how I want to put this in a way. I really think that you have this I'm bad by myself type of mentality.
It's not I'm bad by myself.
Huh?
It's not I'm bad by myself mentality. It's
then why
put you are the one who acknowledged that I needed new tires. again, you didn't offer to buy me new tires. I didn't even ask you to buy me new tires. But you go out and buy yourself brand new tires. Let's be clear. What money are we saving? Where is the savings? What? Oh, you know what? It's spending money. That's what it is. You wouldn't spend more money than saving it because you're like, oh, well, she need new tires. Man, let me go ahead and get me some new tires because I probably need them anyway. And I'll just let her use mine because mine look better than hers anyway. What kind of shit is that?
Again, she wouldn't be spending hers. He's spending his. That's selfish. It's like, hey, I got here's my old tires. They're still good. I mean, a lot of retreads. You're saving money that way instead of
my boo thing learned last night that's not how we operate. Quickly.
Again, you're dictating a relationship, which I think that's a problem.
You're not dictating a relationship, Brian.
And what is it?
My thing is you set the tone up front. Okay, you set the tone, and again, this is still new. This is still they're 4 months in a relationship. It's still new, but you want to set the tone up front with her that you are the man in the relationship. You try to do what you can. I mean, he did. It ain't like he asked to buy her tires. Let's be clear. It's not like she asked for him to buy her tires. I would have rather him not say anything else about tires. I would have. I would have been better off that way. But since you want to sit here and throw in my face that you bought brand new tires for yourself and then you want to give me your hand-me-downs, that shit is disrespectful. I'm sorry. If you're not going to take care of me as your woman, then just don't try. Just don't. Don't even make me your woman because that sets the tone up front. You put yourself first. It's a selfish thing. I think it's very selfish.
For tires.
It's not just. It's not.
Okay.
Just
Okay. No, what I'm saying is the reason why I'm saying it like that because I feels like you're basing this off of some over a materialistical thing. Mind you, yeah, it's something to where you in this day, and not in this current situation where, hey, okay, I need my car to go to work and all that stuff. But I just feel it's like, okay, if it isn't just this, then is it going to be something about, okay, let's flip it. If let's say she buys a new dress, even though he probably is like, she noticed the fact that he needed a new suit.
But see, let me tell you something about
no. It's the same thing, isn't it?
No, it ain't. You want to know why? Because women are actually considerate enough to go out and buy his fucking ass a new suit. That's what it is.
Not most of the time.
Well, let me tell you,
not most women.
A real woman would. My man need a new suit. I'm gonna go get him a fucking new suit. Period. Hell, he might not even need a new suit. Now I might have seen the suit out, and I'll be like, "Babe, I seen this suit, and I thought you looked good in it. I got it for you." Period.
All right, mind you, that's you, but not all women are like that.
Guess what, Brian? There's actually more of me than you think. The women that I fuck with that are in my circle, they're the same fucking way. Can you believe it? Can you believe it?
You got that face looking.
But I know a lot of women like this that will ride for their man, that will cater and do whatever they can for their man because their man takes care of them.
Okay.
It's just the selfishness that I don't get with some of these men. Like, why couldn't you just give her the fucking new tires? Why would you? Not only would you come, this is what I don't. This is the part of the story I really don't understand. This is really pissing me off. I told you this was gonna be some editorial shade shit. Now you gonna call her over your house so she can see your brand new tires.
Yeah, that's the stupid part. But
and then tell her to pick them up from your ass. It ain't like you brought them to her. You told her to come get them. If this don't set the tone for a relationship that's going to end in disaster, I don't know what will.
I think there's some needed conversation that need to be had. like I said, this is not something you should break up over. I think it's. I really think it's something just to have a conversation. If he doesn't get it, then treat it as a check mark, and then could go from there.
Go and get you a man that will take care of your ass.
If he feels that way.
One that will say, babe, you need new tires. Bring me your car during the week and I'm going to make sure he get new tires. That's what you're supposed to do as a man. Take care of your woman. You take care of your woman, she'll take care of you.
Kind of piece.
I mean, that's what it is.
I feel it. I like, that's where I felt like, again, the 50-50, the mutual give and take.
Oh, let me tell you.
See, that's the thing. Everyone will look, like I said, I believe it's like, I help you, you help me. If that's, to me, it's 50-50. For some odd reason, somehow I really believe that some women wants this higher percentage of, it's like, if I do more, you got to give back more. Or, I mean, it just seems weird. I believe in the mutual thing. But then again, mind you, we don't even know how old these two are anyway. So if they're in their 20s, then yeah, I can understand the logic, the understanding of his immaturity on that situation. But then again, based off of your facial expression right now, it's more like the sense like, oh shoot, you got the old heads acting that way too. So it's like, okay, look, the whole situation, I think it's blown out of proportion. I don't think you should break up with it. I just say, put it in your mental Rolodex. If just check it off there. If it's just a strike one. Just say it's strike one for him. But have a conversation where so that person can understand why it's not coherent. Not right. Just don't leave it hanging, because that's the other thing. It's like you talk about communication. This is about communication. Let us know.
That conversation had.
That probably has.
Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, he told her to come get the tires. Mind you, he knew she was going to see the brand new tires. Mind you, he could have been like, babe, I'm on the way to drop off some tires to you. And she would have never known about the new tires. How about that?
Yeah. Or
so he screwed himself in this situation.
Yeah.
But that's my editorial shade.
Oh, that's the end of the show too. So
I know. Thanks everybody for tuning in today. Fashion Victuals Radio. And I will see you all next Wednesday. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Bye, folks.